pestilence, famine, global conflict, and of course...
Right, everyone, just a quick word before the festivities. First of all, of course, apologies for the change of venue. Unfortunately, the usual restaurant took some exception to last year's projectile vomiting from Mr. Humboldt and Mr. McGill. Although I did attempt to explain that the event in question was not, at least initially, intended as competitive. I would also like to say, on a personal note, a very big thank you to you all at the end of my first full term here. I appreciate I am a very different man from Mr. Nixon, and making the transition from one headmaster to the other is never easy. So with that in mind, it's only fair that I should let him thank you in his own inimitable way. Dear staff, I appreciate that Mr. Kennedy is a very different man from myself, and that making the transition from one headmaster to another is never easy. So with that in mind, it's only fair that I let him thank you in his own inimitable way. And finally, Mrs. Slatt, I recognize your handwriting on my notes, and I'm certainly looking forward to whatever exotic apparel you're intending to wear this evening. Please remind everyone, hot fancy dress. And I'm sure you'll be raising everyone's temperature this evening, Mrs. Slatt.
Not fancy dress.
Carry on, everyone.
See, everyone, I told you, he's alive!
Am I being naive? Is there something I don't understand? I mean, what is this big problem about inviting your partner to the staff party?
Of course I want you to come. It's just it's going to be really, really, really boring. It's just going to be so awful and dull. Hi, Susie. It's going to be a great party.
Yeah, sure.
The thing is, Paula, I just don't want you to be bored and really miserable and unhappy and have a really terrible time.
Actually, I'm skipping it.
What, you're not coming?
No, I'm having a drink with Jenny from Modern Languages.
Jenny's not coming either.
No.
Angela from Business Studies?
She left already.
What the hell? Come. Hang on.
So who's Paula?
I'm sure I mentioned Paula.
Night, Dan.
Night, Susie. I'm sure I've mentioned Susie.
Jason, I didn't think you were staying for the party.
Well, I wasn't, but, you know, changed my mind.
Actually, I'm thinking of changing my mind, too.
What?
Yeah. I mean, how bad can it be?
You're staying now?
Yeah,
Well, probably.
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 So, Jason, are you staying or what?
Well, does it matter?
Sorry, darling, I'm just trying to sort out the absolute dullness level so that I can give you a proper assessment.
Oh, I suppose so.
Oh, exactly. Why not, eh?
Don't come. I'm only thinking of you.
Right, everyone. Have a good time at the party tonight. Sorry I won't be able to join you.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
I didn't realise you were,
What?
staying. I didn't realise you were staying.
I'm not.
No, me neither.
Oh, guys, make up your minds. I'm trying to find my girlfriend.
Eric, we're staying.
No, we're not, dear.
Yes, we are, dear.
No, we're not, dear.
Yes, we are, dear.
However hard you try, it is not actually possible to leave a party. This results in a very sad phenomenon.
Mrs. Slatt.
Oh, hello, Jason. I'm just cancelling a cab my husband insisted on ordering.
Mrs. Slatt, how do you feel about your husband?
Sorry?
How do you really feel about your husband?
Well,
Because there's something you ought to know. Something important. I love you.
Pardon?
I love you, Mrs. Slatt.
Hello, Starway minicabs.
Good God!
Well, have you nothing to say?
Well... This is very sweet of you, dear.
It's not sweet. It's passionate. It's dangerous, and you are not safe alone with me.
Oh, I think I am, dear.
You certainly are not, Mrs. Slatt.
Well, fairly safe, Jason.
Mrs. Slatt, I'm a religious education teacher, not a eunuch. There's a difference.
Sorry, I thought you were about to explain it.
Mrs. Slatt, let me assure you, you are not safe.
No, dear.
Anything could happen.
Well, of course it could.
Don't scream.
I think you're being a tiny bit optimistic there, Jason. Jason, I don't know what anyone's told you about this, but I'm afraid you're still a virgin.
For God's sake, feel something.
Well, thanks for the offer, but I'd rather just stand here.
No, I didn't mean... I just meant... Look, I'm really not very experienced at this sort of thing.
Jason, I think it's about time you moved your hands.
Or what, you mean sort of jiggle them a bit?
No, Jason, I mean move your hands away.
Oh, right, of course, yes. Oh, God.
What?
I can't. I can't move them, they've locked.
Jason.
This isn't going well, is it?
Jason. Whatever you may think of my husband, I can assure you there's one area where he's never let me down. Where I'm concerned, Jason, Eric is the most jealous and fiercely protective man I've ever known.
Janet, let go, Mr. Cockfoster. Just going to check on that cab. Have you seen the time?
Mr. Slatt, please understand that I'm terribly, terribly sorry.
What?
Well, you know, your wife's breasts.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Cockfoster, but there's a lot more to a relationship.
Eric!
Starway minicabs.
Dear God.
Have you nothing to say
About what, dear?
about Mr. Cockfoster fondling me?
Don't you care, Mr. Slatt? Don't you care at all?
Well, it was only Mr. Cockfoster, dear.
For God's sake, he's a religious education teacher, not a eunuch. There's a difference. You want to jump in on that?
You know, these things happen. Let's all be reasonable.
Reasonable. Eric, he was standing there and, without my permission, fondling my breasts. What are you trying to tell me, that there are faults on both sides?
Well, I suppose, but they're pretty symmetrical.
Eric!
Yes, dear.
Go away.
Oh, all right, dear, if that's what you want.
No.
You are remembering.
Mrs. Slatt, I apologize for having placed you in this most difficult situation.
Jason. So, you really think you're up to it?
I'm sorry?
You think you can deal with a woman like me? I warn you, I'm a handful, Mr. Cockfoster.
Well, very nearly. Oh, you mean...
So, this, not a eunuch thing.
Yes?
Tell me about it.
Just going to call a cab. Dan's still hogging the phone in the staff room.
Well, Miss Travis, perhaps you'd better use my office.
Sure, fine.
Hello, Starway minicabs.
Jesus Christ! Dan, look at this.
Surprise.
This is the find of the decade.
How did you know I was out here?
Dan, every time I leave the room at a party, you invariably follow me in a pathetic attempt to get my attention.
So you've noticed?
Of all the videotapes in the world, imagine the one you would most like to see. Now, maybe the one you wouldn't normally be allowed to see, but the one you would give anything to hold in your hand.
Lesbian Spank Inferno. Life by Eric Sladd. There is no way we should be looking at this tape.
It would be wrong.
It would be unforgivable.
It would be appalling.
How wrong, unforgivable, and appalling?
But here.
Oh, Paul.
Do you know, I once had a strange dream about Elvis.
Really, Miss Tripler?
He was inflating a balloon, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
How extraordinary.
Bigger and bigger. And the strangest thing of all, Mr. Kennedy, I was the balloon. Bigger and bigger until I just couldn't bear it. And then I burst.
Yeah, me. How distressing.
Oh, no, it was all right. Until Mother turned up with a machine gun. That's dreams for you.
Yeah. Yes. You know, I was rather hoping I'd be home for news night.
And the very next night, I dreamt about the Osmonds, and they were all on tour, and I was a train tunnel. And Mother was in a helicopter with napalm.
Where are you going with that?
Your wife wanted a drink.
And, what are you doing with my wife?
Just talking about sex. I mean religion. Sex in religion. Forgetting. I mean, God invented sex, didn't he? That's why he so often mentioned during it. When I was a kid, my parents slept in the next room. I used to think they got very excited when they were praying. What got me interested in prayer in the first place? Bit of a wrong turning there. Never mind. Anyway, we were just talking about Buddha.
Hello, Starway minicabs.
Buddha?
Cliff Richard was a nuclear physicist. And I was the atom. So, Mr. Kennedy, what could these dreams be about?
Sex.
So, what now?
Now, let's be honest. Sex is not a pretty word. Now, I've already spoken to you about the staff party, which will be inflicted on me later this evening. And parties are obviously something which will be coming up in your future. And sex is something which tends to occur at such parties.
He's not talking to you, Dan. Actually, who is he talking to?
It may well have occurred to you by now, or not, who knows, that your mother and I have had, as it were, sex.
They don't have kids, do
One
they?
day, obviously, you'll wonder about where you came from. And so I'm preparing this answer for you now, just, you know, in
Maybe she
case.
got pregnant.
Yeah, but he's firing blank, so that's the room.
Though obviously you will not be allowed to watch this tape until you are a certain age.
I'm telling you, he's talking to his unborn child. We should not be watching this.
Absolutely not.
The facts are these.
And lo and behold, it turned out that the endoscope was Mr. Spock.
Hello, Starway minicabs.
Mr. Spock!
Who is this?
Well, what can it all mean, Mr. Kennedy?
Don't suppose I'll make it home for news night anyway. Mr. Slatt, do you suppose anyone would mind if I switched on news night?
Oh, Jeremy Paxman, don't get me started on Jeremy Paxman. I was a chocolate pot.
Anyway, that's how sex works.
I'm never, ever doing it again. Was that not just the grossest thing you've ever listened to?
What?
Oh, Dan!
That, of course, is just one of the ways that people can arrive in the world. There are others. Which brings me to today. You know, I've often wondered how I got started. But naturally, I was never able to find out. Not the sort of question you can ask a mother who tapes your hands to your thighs every night. So close and yet so far. Anyway, I thought it might be interesting to tell you what's going through my mind. What my thoughts and feelings are on this day. Which might just be the very beginning of you.
You know, that's quite sweet. We've got to stop watching this.
Well, here's where you begin. Right here in the town-winning street fertility clinic. I'm just about to pop onto that couch and have some very strong emotions indeed. But quite honestly, I better get a move on. Some of those nurses were giving me very strange looks when I took this camcorder in with me. Between you and me, the people that run this place are a bit odd. They've left some absolutely disgusting literature lying around. Of course, my staff are no better. But things I've had to confiscate from under cushions in the staff room.
Bastard!
And as for Mr. Kennedy letting them have a TV in there, who knows what filth they're watching? Well, I do, actually. You want to know how clever your daddy is? I got a VCR for my office and had the whole thing rigged up so whatever improving instructional tape I'm watching, they've got to watch in the staff room, too.
Oh, my God! Stop the tape! Stop the damn tape!
It completely overrides their TV signal. Work to do.
Look, listen, everybody. No, pause it! Mr. Slat.
That was,
Hello, teachers.
Darling, I'm on Newsnight.
Everybody, meet my love slave.
I'm on Newsnight. I'm not saying much.
Mr. Slat, it's on the VCR in your office. Dan, stop the tape!
What?
Get the paws off!
I never touched him.
I think, everybody, we're missing the main point. So can we please focus on that? What's Jeremy Paxman doing in a fertility clinic?
Same as Eric, probably, discovering he hasn't got any. Which is why I've taken on my little love slave here.
Would she be Mr. Cockfoster?
I'm a religious education unit, not a...
Oh, why do you keep going to that stupid clinic? You know it won't work. You know you're running on empty.
My boys are doing just fine, actually. My little fast trackers are on the case.
But they don't do anything, do they? I mean, how long have they been trying now?
They're just not ready.
What?
They're shy.
Shy? Oh, Eric, when are you going to face the truth? When can we try something else?
Mrs. Slat, I am not shy.
What do they really tell you at that clinic?
Mrs. Slat, my seed is ready.
Get a cup and go next door, dear.
What?
Off your pop, love, grown-ups talking. So, Eric, tell me, what do they say?
Right, I'll show you. I'll explain. I'll demonstrate with study aids.
What exactly are you planning?
Right, clear the floor, everyone. Come, clear a big space.
Oh, Eric, for God's sake!
Will you kindly clear a big space? I'm going to demonstrate my fertility.
Eric, what are you doing?
Mr. Humboldt, I need your assistance.
Oh, I don't think so.
Mr. Humboldt, will you please sit in the chair? Now, pay attention. I am a sperm. And Mr. Humboldt is the egg.
I am an egg.
Oh, Eric, please don't do this.
This will make everything much clearer. This is what they explained to me at the clinic.
Bollocks.
Well, you just have to imagine those. Here I am at the start of my journey. Whoa!
Well, that was quick.
Where am I? Saucy. I think I'll go for a bit of a swim. Hope I don't bump into too many people. I'm a bit shy. Hello.
Hello. Do you come here often?
I'm a bit shy, but you're lovely. Where have you been all my life?
An ovary?
Now, this is where I attempt to penetrate the egg.
Like this.
Actually, I'm just too shy to carry on. Maybe next time. Because you're a bit of a tricky one, aren't you?
Time of the month.
You see? Perfectly simple, really, isn't it?
I've never been so humiliated in my entire life.
You. I know him pretty well. Who knows? Maybe this time.
Mr. Slatt, are you finished in here?
Oh, yes. Just having a chat with... Turn it off. Turn it off now.
No, leave it
Mr.
on.
Slatt, I've told you many times what the problem is.
Oh, well then.
Turn it off.
There's nothing wrong with you. It's Janet.
How dare you? You will not make that kind of remark about my wife. And if you start filling her head with all that socialist nonsense, I'll tell everyone you cheated during A-levels 10 years ago.
I didn't.
That won't stop me telling them. Now, any sensible medical person will tell you that I happen to suffer from a certain reproductive shyness, which is the real... Well, I'll tell you one thing. Newsnight have not heard the last of this!
I think perhaps we should...
Yeah, it looks like this party's about wound down. Let's all hit the road.
Right, yeah.
Well, good night, then. Good night, all. Bye now. Goodbye. Bye. Doctors, eh? They're wrong about everything. Bunch of socialists.
Well, I don't want a cab, for God's sake. Look, you're answering the phones in a minicab office. How can you suddenly think you're the Messiah? Didn't actually manage to book a cab. Though I think I might have agreed to sacrifice a goat.
Never drinking or going to a party. Or leaving my house again.
Tell Miss Tripley I had to go. She was telling me about this dream where she was a donut and I... Never mind.
Look, I don't think we should blame ourselves completely for this one. Waiting to happen, I'd say. And anyway, we didn't rig up a play in the staff room, did we?
Yeah, we looked at the tape. And my idea. Thanks for trying to get me off the hook.
Well, any time.
Stop thinking that.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. I concentrated.
I was talking to myself.
Oh, sorry. Right. What?
Susie, where's Mr. Kennedy?
Elvis has left the building.
So all that stuff about shooting blanks, all that time?
Well, not blanks as such. I like to think of them as bashfuls.
Eric, did it ever occur to you I prefer to hear the truth rather than have you protect me from it the entire time?
Oh, no, dear, of course it didn't.
Eric, the truth. Why didn't you tell me?
Well, you know what you're like when you're upset, dear. All that dreadful noise and the crying, and your face looks just awful.
I see.
I mean, what if someone came round unexpectedly? Scare the wits out of them.
So you allowed everyone to think you were shooting blanks? You even impersonated a socially inept sperm in front of all your colleagues. Something no other man has ever done for me. You did all that rather than upset me.
Well, dear, I know how revolting you can be. Now, darling, I have been to the clinic today.
I know a few things the clinic doesn't.
Are you sure? Because there are quite a few doctors
Trust
there.
me.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just that with you, I usually expect something utterly stupid, unbelievable, and completely tasteless to happen.
I think we're okay.
Good.
Braving treacherous seas and the world's driest desert, Michael Palin continues his journey full circle here on BBC One next.